But this time I'm going to do what a ton of you suggested. I'm going to use the bread maker to make the dough instead of... You guys, this video blew up for all the wrong reasons. When I normally make my bread, I make it by hand or I mix the dough in a stand mixer. I never use the bread maker. I do that because I like my bread to turn out a certain way, and when you put it in the bread maker, it's doing its own thing and you just don't have any control on the texture and the feel and the liquid and the dryness, so I like to do it by hand. But on one of the videos that got like 4 million views, I got thousands of people saying, okay, if you don't like the bread maker, why don't you just make the dough in the bread maker and then you can still cook it in the oven? And I said, that's a good idea. Let me try it. So that is what was happening in that video. It was just me trying out the dough in the dough maker. For some reason, people took that video and thought I was telling everybody to buy a bread maker, and I'm very, very against that. Don't buy a bread maker. It's so easy to do by hand. I promise you, I will teach you. You will become a bread making master. But then what's also funny is, of course, there were people in the comment section yelling at me and saying that I didn't know that bread makers actually cooked the bread as well. And I did. I knew that. I was just following your suggestions on making the dough in the bread maker instead of in the hand mixer or by hand, because you guys said it would be easier. And was it easier? Yes, I guess it was, in terms of I just put everything in there and let it sit. But was it different? Yes, the bread turned out different. Therefore, not exactly how I like it, which is perfect. So I see hundreds of comments of you guys buying bread makers, and that's not what I wanted you to do. I want you to learn how to do it by hand. I promise. It's so easy. I don't know, maybe there's bread makers that are way better than mine and they don't create this big old brick of bread. That's like, yeah, good, but just not what I want. So if you have one of those, maybe keep it. But if you don't and you want to continue to learn how to make it by hand, just follow along. I promise I'll teach you. My bread box that I bake the dough in, which everybody loved, the link is in my bio. It's always in the bio somewhere. Also, the recipe is on my blog. So if you don't want to watch the video over and over again and you just want to read the directions, it's in my blog.